How many of you look at your bank accounts at the end of the month and you see a long list of financial transactions? Some of them are small and you're not even actually sure what they are. But then you ask yourself, how in the hell did I spend so much money this month? In this video, I want to talk with you about how to start making great financial decisions, not just on the large purchases where it may come more naturally, but also on the small purchases. I'm going to give you some practical tips on things to think about and things to implement in your financial life to make sure that you're making good financial decisions. The first thing I want to talk about is financial organization. This is so important to making good financial decisions. A lot of the times we create disorganization in our financial life to prevent clarity. We are intentionally disorganized, whether or not you know it or not. You're doing it because you don't want to look at the reality. But I promise you, once you get organized, once you get clear with your money, you are going to be able to be so much more successful. My suggestion for you is to open 2 bank accounts. And these are going to be checking accounts. And I want you to dedicate one of your accounts to your bills. All of the things that you have to pay on a monthly basis, regardless of if you leave your house. I want you to set up auto pay from this account so you don't ever have to go in and use your precious time to be paying bills, right? It all happens in the background. And I want you to just fund that account with the amount of money that you need to pay all of your bills on a monthly basis. So for example, if I have $4,000 and that's my fixed expenses for the month, and I get paid 2 times a month, I'd want to put $2,000 of every paycheck into that account. And then I just let it ride. I don't bring that debit card around with me. I just leave that account alone. Your next checking account is going to be your spending account. So you'll put a certain amount of money into your spending account on a monthly basis, and you'll start spending and you'll get immediate feedback on how you're doing in terms of your financial plan. So it's really great because you have clarity. You know, okay, if I put $1,000 in this account a month or every 2 weeks, it depends on everyone's financial situation, what makes sense. You can watch the balance of that account as the month goes by. And what that will do is that will start to tell you whether or not you can or cannot buy something. It also puts you in a relationship with your money, and it really allows you to operate within the flow of your life. So if you decide you want to go and spend a lot of money on a new pair of shoes, you can just adjust throughout the rest of the month by maybe eating at home more or not spending as much money out. So financial organization is so critical to making good financial decisions. You want to get feedback on how you're doing, and that is what financial organization will do for you. The next thing I want you to think about is value. What is the true value of the purchase that I'm considering making? One way to understand and put into context the true value is to think about your working hours. So how many of your working hours does it require to actually buy whatever it is that you're thinking about? If you know that it's going to take you 8 hours of work to buy a shirt, you may think to yourself, maybe 8 hours of work is not worth it for one shirt. Another thing to look at is, does this item really support the life that I want to live? There are a lot of opportunities for us to look for misrepresented value, where we're buying something because we think it's going to make us happier, we think it's going to make us more desirable, we think it's going to make us look more valuable to the world, but really it's not something that adds significant value to our life. And we live in a world where we're constantly told by advertisers that you're not good enough and you need to buy this face lotion, you need to buy this mascara, you need to buy this purse, you need to buy this car to be able to be more valuable. So it is so important to go in with a critical eye and ask yourself, what value does this truly bring to me in my life? And is this misrepresented value? The next thing that I think you should think about is the return on your investment. So you want to think about every purchase that you make in terms of return. If I'm going to buy a really nice coat that I know I'm going to wear for 5 years, then I'm likely to spend much more money. But you want to start to adopt an investor mindset when you're buying things. And this will really allow you to make more financial decisions in terms of what you can get back in the future. The last thing that I like to think about when I'm making financial decisions is who am I actually supporting? Every opportunity that I have, I like to support people that I know and trust, especially when I'm buying things like jewelry or I'm buying things like services, whether that's massage or business services. I always like to look at my community and my personal network because I feel like it's so important to make purchases and support people that you know and trust. And what will happen is when you start to lift your community and you start to lift others, you'll also start to lift yourself and you'll see that come back around to you. So I really think you actually can live so much more powerfully with your money when you think about, intentionally begin to think about who and what you're supporting with each dollar. So to recap, here are the ways that you can start making better financial decisions. 1, get organized with your money. 2, really understand how much value that the purchase has and think about it in terms of your personal value. Number 3 is to adopt an investor mindset, so really looking at your return. And number 4 is really start to consider who you're supporting with your money and if it supports the world that you want to live in the future. All right, everyone, thank you so much. My name is Whitney Morrison. Please subscribe somewhere. I never know where the button is, but it's got to be close.